Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quiet Work podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about public relationships and why being visible can help you accelerate your business growth or perhaps your career if that's the path you chose. Without any further ado, Jill, please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us about your career. Tell us about what you do.
Thank you, Matt. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm a publicity expert. That's my jam. I love it. I actually wrote the book on it called Guerrilla Publicity, and I've written 4 books and speak all over the world and help people with media mastery intensives and to really get publicity done without having to hire an expensive PR agency. So I love that. That's who I am in the world in short form.
How did it all start for you?
Well, I actually started in law school. That was a mistake. And I did not enjoy that, but it created my being into, well, the music business, which actually is what taught me wonderful things about publicity and perception and actually really started my career. So that's what I've been doing.
Fantastic. And if you can share a little bit, obviously you don't have to tell us the exact names, but who do you typically work with?
I love working with small business owners, consultant, coaches, authors, speakers, but mostly all small business owners.
Small business owners. So we're talking about nationwide, or do you prefer to work in person with people and companies in your area?
No, everything I do is on Zoom and easy, even sometimes with the local people. If they hire me for VIP days or specific consulting, I tend to work over Zoom. I just find it's so much easier, and so much more efficient, and works great.
Absolutely. And I think there's a huge benefit to working hybridly sometimes in person and offline to keep that relationships stronger, I guess, if you will. I'm a big fan of that. So whenever I can, whenever I have an opportunity, I love to shake hands and meet people and feel their energy in person as well, other
It's
than
true.
online
That's
as
true.
well. So if you could break down for us here, how does the typical client journey look for you? When someone comes to you, they need obviously become visible online, let's say, or be visible in general in their industry, in their space. How does it typically work with? Where do you begin and what are the steps that you take to make sure that you really understand what they need and you provide the care and help that they
Yeah, well, let me just say visibility is about publicity and it is not social media. Publicity is being seen and heard on things like this podcasts and TV and radio and magazines and newspapers and blogs and wonderful podcasts, so many that exist now and make it so much easier to actually get publicity, which is free and magnetizes you and multiplies you and literally brings people to you. So that's why I love publicity. It's like not only a gift that keeps on giving, but it really brings people right to you in much bigger, wider reach. And so really, I think it all begins with a message that's powerful, that's impactful, and that is something that other people care about. So I think that that's a great place to start and important. But what I know is if you're practicing publicity, you're going to generate leads. You're going to create that important trust factor, believability and credibility that people care about you. So it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And I agree with you on all of that. And I feel like more and more companies are recognizing it and realizing that it does matter. Definitely, if you want to become a paragon of reputation in your industry, in your space, that's going to be definitely crucial. And as you said, it definitely can drive growth into your business if you're visible online, if you have sources, various sources that talk well about you, not only your existing clients. So how do you, when you approach a founder and you begin to work together, how do you extract the right stories from their life, their journey, and their experience in business?
I have a bit of a talent for this, and that is going underneath the what is said and finding the unique parts of your story. I like to encourage people to use all parts of who they are. Like I had a woman who's a business consultant who has a son who's autistic. Well, for National Autism Month, we go out with her talking about how to be a mom and how to be in business with special needs and different things she has to attend to. That's just one particular story based on using, well, I like to call it everything you've got. You know, if I have a person who's Hispanic, for instance, we might do Hispanic Heritage Month. Or a woman, for instance, I worked with who's a business communication coach. And we're doing great stories about how to be more effective in business. And then when Black History Month comes, because she's a Black woman, we talk about how to be a powerful Black woman and communicate well in today's times. That's the story. So you see the distinction and difference makes a big one, really wonderful to do. And it's just been really something to help people find the what's up for them. I had a gentleman who is an instructional designer, and I'll tell you, Matt, that's boring. I mean, honestly. And when he told me,
Sounds
I'm like,
boring.
yeah, I mean, he wanted to build his business and he had just been fired from a corporate job and he was building his own business and he knew the power of publicity to drive his prospects and leads and business to him and basically tell people he was in business. And I pulled out his story from him, his personal story. We created a whole news story about being a virtual office warrior. That story got him into the Business Times, in Entrepreneur Magazine. Imagine this, all of you in Entrepreneur Magazine. And literally 9 months of publicity, increasing his business revenues by 40%. That was so exciting. And of course, now he has a full consulting business. And one of the things we did as an example is he is Asian American. So we translated his article into Chinese, put it into the Chinese Times. One article, just as an example, he got a $7,000 consulting engagement from it. Okay, so that's the power of publicity. Can you
I
tell
love
I
it.
love it?
I love it too. I think public speaking is the second thing people dread the most or are afraid the most, other than death, that you recommend to all of your clients to own their stories through talking about it online, offline, but also writing books and doing public speaking? Or is that something that not every client needs to do in order to succeed at being visible online?
Yeah, and every client does not need to do that. Plenty of my clients don't need a book. They have, whether it's a consulting practice, a small business, whether they're one or two or a little bit bigger. What I know is that if you're not doing publicity, how can you be seen and heard? And what I know about the power of it is to have that influence and impact and frankly generate clients and revenue quickly because people have heard about you somewhere. And if you do nothing, well, nothing happens. You kind of hope and pray and wish that people would find you. But, as my friend P.T. Barnum said, a terrible thing happens without publicity. Nothing. So it is an amazing strategy to drive really awareness and elevate your trust in the marketplace, which is very important in today's world, and have people know what you know and be of benefit to your gifts and talents, whatever they are. And that's the power of publicity.
I agree. I agree with you. And I know P.T. Burnham had a definitely talent for it, for figuring out ways to get attention
Yeah,
in a
and
very unique, very unique.
yeah, and how wonderful is that, right? I mean, check that out. Like a circus guy actually, funny enough, wrote a book about publicity, absolutely had that promotional talent, and really got famous and created a circus that was famous. It's just a circus, but it was a circus because, and I don't mean just a circus, it was a great circus. The point is, he paved a way and literally using publicity tactics. That's powerful.
It absolutely is. Yes. And I like to go back to the, I guess we can call old school ways of promotions and marketing and study what were they doing back then, because maybe the medium has changed, the platform has changed, but the principles, they stay and they are still valid. Obviously, You don't have to be doing crazy things like they did, but you can still learn a lot from those stories and the principles that they've used back then. I
Absolutely.
agree with you on that. If you look back at your career, all the clients and engagements that you work with and have been part of, what gives you the most fulfillment in that?
Mm. Well, I love the opportunity for helping others to really, have the impact they desire, getting their messages out, watching business flow into them when maybe they couldn't figure out how to do that otherwise, knowing that they are making a contribution by being seen and heard and having more influence because it's a powerful influential strategy, right? And it's just a joy. It's a joy to watch people, even who are shy and a little bit afraid, to help them get over that fear and give them confidence. Because I've noticed in a lot of people I've worked with who aren't natural extroverts necessarily or have ease with even how they communicate, to give them a message that they go, wow. I have a woman, gosh, 10 years ago, she was my client, and she said to me, you gave me a line that I use to describe my services. She's a naturopath doctor. To describe my services that I have used for over 10 years, and it just flows, it's natural, people understand it, and you just make things really simple, which is one of my talents, to create really simple language to translate people. And so that's a lot of fun where, like I had a woman in real estate and she's so cute. She wouldn't even come on camera with me. She was so afraid. And by the way, she was successful, articulate, lovely to look at, but there was something about the camera that scared her. And so we would work together. And I remember one session we were online for 20 minutes. My usual sessions are 30 minutes long maximum. And at 20 minutes, I gave her the thing to say about her real estate and what she did and why she was distinct. She told me she had been going around in circles, that was her words, for 3 months to figure this out. I gave it to her in 20 minutes. So that's the thing about saving time and money and energy. And by the way, she's definitely turned the camera on. And she started having that confidence to be able to say it. I think for some people, it's just learning how to say something that for you, it's complicated because you're in your own box. And I can look in and extract the most important elements, the key phrases, the sound bites that give you the confidence to speak who you are and why it's important.
I love that. And it sounds like you are empowering them to own their own story, which they're sometimes are afraid to share. Maybe they think it's going to hurt their reputation or come up with some, I call it monkey brain thoughts, where the monkey brain keeps telling you things that you shouldn't be doing because of X, Y, and Z. And in reality, that's usually nonsense. And you can definitely benefit from being vulnerable sometimes, but owning your story, owning your experience and everything you do. I think that's powerful. And it also sounds like you have clients from all different kinds of industries. I had real estate, there's natural pathing, doctor in medicine's field or health field, architecture, or a bunch of different clients. How do they find you, or how do you find them in so many different niches and industries?
Well, I do speak a lot to different groups, different business groups. And so people end up seeing me. Sometimes it's a referral. And I think honestly, it's really been that. And then sometimes you're in business long enough and I've networked long enough. And I frankly love networking all over the world now because of Zoom and the international opportunities that we're able to really talk to people from all over the world. And publicity is a universal need and focus for others. So I think people just find me. I'm in media a lot. It's been wonderful, and I have a book, Guerrilla Publicity, so that helps too.
Absolutely. Which one is your favorite platform for out of those online platforms? LinkedIn, YouTube, maybe X or Instagram. Do you have any favorites?
Well, I'll repeat again that those are not publicity because I think it's important. And like my message is consistent on the platforms. Probably LinkedIn if I had to choose, and YouTube's
Hmm.
my other.
you have a large presence. That's why I'm asking, because I know you have decent presence on LinkedIn or on
Thank
and
you.
following as well. So I can imagine that plays a role in it as well. So I think that's a platform where a lot more users could benefit from connecting with you. And there's shocking number of 100 million daily active users, and I maybe see a handful of them every day because of the algorithm. So it's becoming it's growing really rapidly, I guess we can say, compared to other platforms. And yes, I wanted to hear your take on it as well. If you had a chance, Jill, to sit across the table from Jill, who's just starting out in her career, what advice would you share with her for her journey?
Oh boy, yeah. Well, a couple things. One is get financially savvy quicker. The truth is, I have a skill set, but running a business is a whole different thing. Like I have a graphic designer client. He has no idea how to bill people. He's never paid on time, all that kind of thing. So for me, I think it's really important to get financially literate. I don't have to do all the doing or bookkeeping, which, by the way, I would never do. It's like telling me to do brain surgery. No, thank you. Hire a brain surgeon, hire a bookkeeper. But, I think that's really important. Financial literacy, just so I understand it. I think that's important. Also, get team around you. Get an administrative assistant quickly. And I love, in today's world, we can work with people all over the world and very affordably, by the way. So no excuses. But I think when you free yourself up and have someone else helping you, then you're free to do the things that you're really talented at. Stay in your lane, be paid well. Even like cleaning my house, I'm not going to clean my house. Let me pay someone to clean my house and let me deliver to people my best skills or have some time off, one of the two. But I just think entrepreneurs in particular get a little controlling. And I think that we have to let go of control and let other people do what they're good at. So I think particularly those two things, get team, meaning and financial mentorship and financial literacy. But also I'll add in one more, and that is get mentors. So I'm a mentor to people in the area of publicity. I have my mentors, and honestly, without my mentors, I also don't know if I'd be where I am. Expanding my mindset, seeing what's possible, getting new and fresh ideas for how to deliver my business, having people hold me accountable. It all made such a huge difference in my career.
I agree with that again. It's very powerful as well. Being a mentor and being having mentors, it's crucial. And one thing I wanted to add here is that I remember when you said hiring a team. I remember when I first freed up probably 20 to 30 hours a week just on doing one proper hire. It took me obviously a couple of weeks of training, but once that was up and running, that person was up and running, it was like a dream come true. Now you had so much time. I had so much time to focus on higher leverage activities, and that's a powerful thing to have. Focus on building a team, building a culture from the get go. Have that in mind as well.
I know,
My
so exciting.
final question for you, Jill, today.
So I always look forward to making sure that I'm getting, fun in. I think that's important. I also run kindness circles and happy to make sure we put the link in the chat for my kindness circles. Those are every month. And I really enjoy running those and bringing people together in kindness to support each other and network and do business together. That's a lot of fun. So I'm always looking forward to that. That's my monthly activity that fills me. And, I have an upcoming media mastery in January. I'm always looking forward a bit to a new year, new me. What's going to be different? What are my new focuses? And by the way, I don't do a lot of new focuses these days. I like narrow in the sense that I found formats that work. My media mastery intensive, I offer it 4 times a year. It works. I love the support it gives to people. So I'm not one of these that like keeps inventing new things and new programs all the time. I find that distracting. I am thinking about an AI and PR kind of workshop. That's about the newest program I will do. But, for me, life's a big adventure. I'm excited about that. And I love to honor occasions and celebrations. And so I'm definitely will be taking a trip through either Europe or Asia in next March, actually next April, May. So that'll be fun.
I wish you nothing but continued success. If someone would like to learn more about what you do and perhaps connecting with you, what's the best platform, best way to do so?
So what I've done is I've created a publicity guide for all of you that gives you even more great publicity tips. It's completely free and it contains an opportunity to be live with me, meaning on Zoom, be live with me in a PR masterclass. And I'm going to pour into you even more fun, great tips. And you have an opportunity to interact with me and answer questions, get questions answered. So it's a wonderful free gift, and you get that and you connect with me through jilllublin.com/guide.
Got it. I will make sure to include the link down below.
Thank you.
Jill, it was a pleasure and honor to host you on the Quiet Work podcast. I'm looking forward to seeing your future trips and masterminds you're going to host online and learning more about that in the future. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.